Bruce Farrell.
Your home for Hannity each afternoon at 3 p.m. Talk 96.3 and 103.7. Welcome in to News and Views with Tom Lamprecht. The stories you've heard and the ones you need to hear.
I still like playing it down.
Yes, sir.
Because I don't want to create a panic.
He knew about COVID-19.
Bob Woodward proved that he knew.
He lied to the American people.
But I don't recall anything that was any gross distortion.
He didn't lie. It's ridiculous.
And I don't want people to be frightened. We want to show confidence. We want to show strength.
Keep calm. Carry on.
Your life, your values, your voice. This is News and Views with Tom Lamprecht on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
All right, welcome in. It is News and Views. Tom Lamprecht, Benny Hardy, and you. Lots to talk about. And we'll play political trivia in a little bit. Your category, 38th President of the United States. Do you remember who that was? Not that you have to know to win the question, but 38th President of the United States. So the big bombshell that we talked about yesterday, Bob Woodward. Why do I keep calling him Woodworth? Bob Woodward. He came out with his new book that was supposedly a bombshell. It wasn't even a firecracker. I mean, this really is a dud. The things that came out late yesterday concerning this, Donald Trump made public what was in the book. All you have to do is go back and listen to what he said back in late March, early April. He said the same things publicly that Woodward comes out now and acts like, oh, this is a shocker. This is just, can you believe the president did this? So back then in April and March, he came out and said, I'm trying to downplay it. I'm trying to keep everybody calm. It's a deadly disease, but I'm trying to keep everybody calm. Carl Bernstein said Trump called the coronavirus deadly in a private meeting, minimizing its risks in public. He said that these tapes that Woodward has of the president are more devastating than Nixon's tapes. It is, I mean, this is their October surprise, and there's no there. It's almost humorous how they keep falling on their face.
Yeah, I listened last night the press conference, and I believe I counted 21 or 22 questions out of the White House press corps out of I think it was 30 questions, and they're all about this bombshell book.
Quote bombshell book, yeah.
And that's ridiculous. I mean, I don't see how they can say that. They've been in the room the entire time. I mean, okay, their argument that he didn't take it serious. He had a White House briefing every day. And so I think it's pretty serious, you know.
The other question you ask yourself, if this was a matter of life and death and how the president handled these things, Woodward has been sitting on this since March. Why didn't he? If it's a matter of life and death, then the blood is on your hands, Bob. I mean, really, if you're going to use that logic, then the Washington Post and Bob Woodward, perhaps we ought to bring them into criminal court if that's what they want to do to the president, because you've been sitting on this information the whole time.
Bob Woodward is a fraud, plain and simple. If it was bombshell information that was that important to the people of the United States or the world, if he was so principled, he would disclose it. No, the fact of the matter is there's no money in it for his principles. So he's releasing this information the week before his book's released. You know, what is it? Go sell crazy somewhere else. We're all stocked up here.
On April 1st, Donald Trump said at a White House press briefing, quote, that he knew the coronavirus would be horrible, and I knew it could be maybe good. He added, I don't want to be a negative person. It'd be much easier for me to come up and say, we have bad news, we're going to lose 220,000 people, and it's going to happen over the next few weeks. But he didn't want to be negative. He made it very clear. And if these reporters would actually go out and do their homework, they'd know that.
Well, you compare, Donald Trump's approach as a leader, and then you compare it to Andrew Cuomo in New York. He had his press conference every day, and all he talked about, okay, we're broke. What are we going to do? We need 1 million ventilators or whatever the crazy number he said. And then he comes out and praises Trump after Trump comes to his rescue. He praises Trump.
Then
thanks him.
Now.
Yeah, so now it's about politics.
The actress Diana Rigg passed away. 82 years old, from the spy series The Avengers. She was also a Bond girl back in 1969. She played Emma Peel alongside Patrick Macnee's bowler-hatted John Steed in The Avengers. I think every guy used to look at Diana Rigg and just say, ah.
I remember the reruns for sure, but I don't think I remember the original when it was on. It was, what, early 60s?
Yeah, probably so. Yeah. Probably so, yeah, because she was the Bond girl back in 1969. 82 years old. So Donald Trump yesterday comes out with his new list of people he could nominate to the Supreme Court. He had on the list some non-judges, such as Ted Cruz, Tom Cotton, Josh Hawley of Missouri. He also had on the list a Carolina girl, a Western North Carolina native who attended Wake Forest University and Duke Law School. She is on the president's list of potential Supreme Court vacancies. Her name is Rushing, Allison Jones Rushing, who Trump nominated to the Fourth Circuit Court of Appeals in 2019. And she's 38. She is clerked for Clarence Thomas. She also clerked for the current Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch before he got on the High Court. Tom Tillis tweeted, "Thank you at Real Donald Trump for including Allison Jones Rushing in the updated list of potential Supreme Court nominees. Judge Rushing is a Western North Carolina native. I'm proud to recommend for her to serve on the Fourth Circuit Court, and a strong conservative choice who would uphold the Constitution." Rushing was first nominated for the Fourth Circuit in 2018. The Senate did not act on her nomination by the end of the year, leading her to the nomination in 2019. The Senate confirmed her along partisan lines. So there you go. Maybe we'll have a North Carolinian up on the Supreme Court. She's one of 20-something on the list. This has been sort of a pet peeve of mine for a long time. When I see our government, our state government, handing out goodies to certain industries to attract them. I just, on principle, I realize that, okay, on paper you might come along and say, well, this is going to create so many jobs. Wasn't it Dell that got a big handout from the state government to come in and put in a factory somewhere in North Carolina? I think it was over on the other side of Winston-Salem. Yeah. And how long did that last? 2 years, maybe?
Yeah.
2 or 3 years, and they disappeared. And supposedly they ended up having to pay some penalties back. Yesterday, the U.S. Golf Association, they were already set to hold the 2024 U.S. Open at Pinehurst. They announced that Pinehurst will be the home to the Open again in 2029, 2035, 2041, 2047. I don't think I'll be around that long. Maybe I will be. I shouldn't plan my own funeral yet, I guess. USGA also plans to move part of its official headquarters from New Jersey to North Carolina. It will build, quote, Golf House Pinehurst, a visitor center, museum, and research base. But the announcement includes a $1 million catch. North Carolina will give the USGA $18 million in incentives and millions of dollars in extra tax breaks. The deal, inserted into an existing House bill, swiftly passed both chambers of the legislature last week. Cooper immediately signed it into law. Lawmakers called it the Championship North Carolina Act. In reality, it's a bipartisan package supporting crony capitalism, says Carolina Journal John Locke Foundation researchers. I'm so tired of these things, I can't even get fired up, said Joe Colati from the John Locke Foundation. He's a senior fellow there for fiscal and tax policy. This is the state helping Pinehurst Resort with something that it was probably going to do anyway. Colati said that he has spent countless hours, tracking North Carolina's economic struggle through the governor's COVID-19 shutdown. In short, he's exhausted, he said. And now, despite the state's significant tax losses and slumping economy, the legislature managed to scrap together enough money for a golf deal. North Carolina will pay $3.6 million to the USGA this fiscal year. To foot the bill, the lawmakers pulled $3.5 million from the One North Carolina Fund, formerly dubbed the Governor's Walking Around money, another $100,000 from Job Development Investment Grant, which is a discretionary fund giving money to companies that bring jobs to North Carolina. There's no guessing where the state will find the remaining $14.4 million, which it plans to pay the USGA over the next 4 years. Yet politicians, Republican and Democrats, were overjoyed during a Wednesday news conference with the USGA. House Speaker Tim Moore, Tom McGinnis, Jamie Bowles were among those praising the $18 million deal. It will bring money to the community and the state, they said. It will help North Carolina's struggling hospitality industry. Construction isn't set to start until 2022. Meanwhile, about 169,500 hospitality workers remain unemployed. Cooper's office said Wednesday, pointing to the USGA deal as a boost for the economy. In March, restaurants, hotels, bars, and other recreational companies employed 535,800 people. More than half were laid off in March. Only 336,000 have returned to work. To date, bars, nightclubs, lounges, movie theaters, music halls remain closed under the executive orders. This is bothersome to me. I mean, I'm all for things that help our economy grow, that help everyone. But I get ticked when the Democrats pick and choose certain companies, and I get ticked off when, and by the way, they're saying, okay, you've got to hire 50 additional people that are not currently employed by the USGA as a part of this deal. But it's bothersome to me. And look, I'm happy that I love golf. I love Pinehurst. I'd like to see Pinehurst get more fame and all that stuff. But it bothers me when we pick a segment of the economy or a company or an entity and say, okay, we're going to give you guys special treatment. And is 50 people that many people to hire that you're going to give away $18 million?
Yeah, I don't like it either. I've said on some committees over the years when I've argued about incentives, I'm an anti-incentive guy. I've had Democrats and Republicans argue with me that, hey, we can't be in the game if we don't have them. But let's develop a tax and regulatory system that is pro-business, fair for everyone, that makes companies want to move here regardless if you've got political payoffs to get them here. It just sets up as a recipe for corruption, and it gives power to politicians.
To that end, right now, Florida is gaining something like 1,000 people a day from the Northeast, from these high-tax states up in the Northeast. And a part of that is because of, now there's less state taxes that you're allowed to write off on your federal income tax. But, and look, it's not because of incentives. It's because in North Carolina, you don't have any income tax. I mean, not North Carolina, in Florida, you don't have any income tax.
Right.
And as a result, and that's what you're saying, that's what I'm saying, make it an incentive for everybody. Make an incentive that everybody will want to come here, regardless of what job sector you're in. It's bothersome to me that the corruption issue, but why are rewarding an entity that hasn't been here when we're not rewarding individuals that have had businesses here for 20, 30, 40, 50 years? Why aren't they getting some special treatment?
That's the most important point to me, is the fairness of, I've got clients that has grown organically in North Carolina, taken the risk, paid taxes, property sales, income taxes, and then all of a sudden you might have someone in a competing industry comes in and they just get all these junkets for free. It's just, I don't like it.
And it's the tax dollars from those people that have been here for 40 or 50 years that they're using to give to the other guys.
Exactly.
It's and I know I hear the same thing. Oh yeah, you got to do that to be in the game. Do we want to be in that game? Let's have a game where everybody wins, not just a select individual or entity or whatever. Let's take a time out. Lots more to talk about, and political trivia. Well, that'll come up in a few minutes. Stay with us. More news and views coming up.
It's summertime, and there's no better time to drive away in a quality pre-owned car or truck from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized over 50 stores in eastern North Carolina and southeastern Virginia. Duck Through Food Stores offers brand name gas in a wide range of food, snacks, and beverages. Get your Duck Through Rewards card and receive 25 cents off per gallon upon registration. After that, Duck Through Rewards members receive 3 cents off on all gallons of gas up to 20 gallons. And cool rewards like buy 6 20-ounce Pepsi products and get the 7th free. Get your Duck Through Rewards card now and start earning points for discounts on gas and free drinks and snacks. Duck Through.
Transworld Business Advisors is the largest and fastest growing business brokerage and M&A firm in the world. And my buddy Tony Corey and his wife Jarma have brought this wonderful company to Greenville and northeastern North Carolina. Tony, tell us about Transworld Business Advisors.
Thanks, Henry. Basically, our Transworld team here in eastern North Carolina confidentially helps both buyers and sellers with the purchase or sale of a business.
So, Tony, what's the process that a buyer or a seller would go through in working with you?
The best way for us to analyze what their need is for them to call us, because Transworld's been in business for over 40 years, and we can customize an approach that's right for them. For more information, you can check out our website at www.transworldeast.com, or you can call me personally on my cell phone at 252-347-9606, or transworldeast.com.
Transworld Business Advisors.
Timeshare owners, looking for a safe end to your timeshare ownership? Be careful. Every year, timeshare owners lose millions of dollars by hiring the wrong exit company. I'm Gordon Newton, author of The Consumer's Guide to Timeshare Exit and president of Newton Group. Our data shows that 1 in 4 timeshare owners who tried ending their ownership hired the wrong exit company, costing them thousands of dollars and years of heartache. You can get the help you need, but who you choose to help you end your ownership matters most. Whether you're looking to end your timeshare ownership or you hired the wrong exit company and are looking to recoup lost money, Newton Group can help. Newton Group is the #1 trusted name in timeshare exit, serving thousands for over 15 years. A+ rated at the Better Business Bureau. Finalists for Torch Award for Ethics. 5-star reviews at Google, Trustpilot, and the BBB. Call Newton today at 888-99-NEWTON for your free, no-obligation consultation and a free copy of the Consumer's Guide. That's 888-99-NEWTON or 99newton.com.
The fall seasons of topics is here. It's full of drama.
I'd love to see voter ID. The Democrats love it. The Republicans hate it.
Intrigue. And
We expect to see a great deal of loss.
romance.
Yes, we have issues. Yes, we're going to deal with those issues.
The best part you're invited to is to join in on the fun.
I've been wanting to call for the last couple weeks with all this.
Maybe today be the day to call.
With Tom Lamprecht on Talk 96.3 and 103.7. Welcome back to News and Views.
Welcome back in. It is a Political Trivia Thursday. Your category, we'll play in a little bit. The 38th President of the United States. Taking a look at your weather forecasts. The rain continues tomorrow. Chance of precip tomorrow is about 70%. Showers and thunderstorms will develop probably around noontime, around lunchtime. A high of near 84. Chance of rain tomorrow night continues, although it wanes away to about 30%. Sorry to tell you this, but Saturday and Sunday looks like rain again. 60% on Saturday, 40% on Sunday. So it sounds like if you're going to get outside, it might be Sunday the day to do it. Weather brought to you by our friends at the Ironwood Golf and Country Club. Got a big event coming up this year. Celebrate at Ironwood. We've made over $300,000 in upgrades and improvements, and the place is looking better than ever. Our plantation-style clubhouse is the perfect setting to host your wedding, birthday, anniversary, baby reveal party, graduation celebration, business meeting, or holiday party. Ironwood offers several party spaces leading out to our terraces with beautiful views of our Lee Trevino signature course. Make your celebration one to remember at one of the most beautiful venues in eastern North Carolina. It's not too early to go ahead and call Taylor Hetzel to talk about your Christmas parties. She's the banquet manager. Her number is 752-4653, or you can email her at foodandbeverage@ironwoodgolf.com. You'll love it. She'll take care of everything, whether it's a get-together with a dozen folks or 120 folks. Ironwood can take care of everything. So it was, about a week ago, we were talking about this organization called Quizlet that is service that many of the schools and teachers are using to disseminate virtual information to students. And unbeknownst, and this information has come trickling in to us from different sources, but unbeknownst to a lot of the teachers and the principals didn't even know what Quizlet was doing. Quizlet. Chances are, if your children are doing anything online with school, I'm sure there are other organizations, other entities that are disseminating this information from the teachers to the students. But I guess to describe it, it's a software package that the teachers can use to disseminate the information over the kids, get their homework assignments and such. Well, the students apparently have to go online, and in order to access through Quizlet, I don't know if they have to, but they have the opportunity to sign up, and they have to give their email. An email. All I can say is if your kids are doing that, mom and dad, you might want to pay close attention to what is coming to your student's email address. Because as we mentioned last week, one of the banners on this Quizlet is hashtag Be the Change. The banner says Black Lives Matter, Unity. The Communist Fist is up there. Hashtag Be the Change. Educate, empathize, and empower. We're proud to announce that we have partnered with Teaching Tolerance, the New York Times 1619 Project. So we talked about that a week ago. But now the emails that have come trickling into some of these students, what is white privilege? Really? Talking about teaching Stonewall. Wasn't Stonewall the bar that had some homosexual stuff going on?
Was it in New York? Was it?
Yeah, it's up in New York, and they want to make it a
maybe?
national landmark now. Mm-hmm. And folks, all I can tell you is this guy was at one time at Google, and I think then he was at Amazon. Now he's started this. Now he's the chief operating officer of Quizlet, the guy that is. But you know, under the subject line of this one email that was sent out recently, the Communist Fist is in the subject line: "Fight hate with knowledge." Hashtag Be the Change. All I'm saying is, mom and dad, double check what your kids are getting as they sign up for this virtual learning. And again, I'm not blaming necessarily. I don't know who knows about it, who doesn't know about it, but it's being disseminated.
You know, I clicked on the email that was forwarded to me, clicked on some of the links, and when you go to the white privilege link, I think it was about 50 or 60 slides presentation, and I was just floored at what it talked about. It basically is telling kids that they are inherently racist because of their skin color, and they don't know it. And talks about whiteness, and I was just floored that this is being done.
And folks, we're talking about kids in our listening area that are receiving this. This is not in California. This is not in New York. This is eastern North Carolina. Mom and dad, beware. First and Freedom Daily is reporting that down in Charlotte, public health officials are now approaching crime and saying that this is a public health matter. As the pandemic panic enabled public health officials to morph into empowered authoritarians in 2020, the Queen City, Charlotte, is now turning to a public health approach to quell the massive spikes in violent crime that have been exacerbated by the anti-police woke mobs this past year. From the city of Charlotte, this is from the city. This is a press release from the city. In 2019, more than 100 homicides occurred in Charlotte, an 80% increase over the previous year, and the city's highest number of homicides since the early 1990s. And hospital emergency departments treated more than 4,000 Mecklenburg County residents for assault-related injuries. In response to the increase in violence and a renewed call from the community for police reform and racial justice, the city has adopted a new public health approach to prevent violent crime. This approach emphasizes the use of data and support from several sectors, including health, education, social services, private industries, and community members. A component of the strategy is a new tool, the Community Violence Data Dashboard, that will help the city and its partners better understand violent crimes. The dashboard displays violent crime data by type, examples homicides, youth violence, intimate partner violence, and identifies locations by neighborhood or Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department's identified priority areas. The dashboard is also linked to the Quality of Life Explorer to learn more about social determinants of health indicators such as poverty, education, employment, and other factors that could influence violence. Presenting the data in this way begins to lay the foundation for working with partners to start the work to reduce violent crime in our community, said Assistant City Manager Angela Charles. Having a better understanding of the contributing factors will help us develop more efficient intervention strategies to de-escalate tensions that could lead to violence. So social justice has now yielded social policing of violent crimes, leveraging the invasive and inconsistently heavy-handed approach taken by public health in the pandemic panic. In other words, we're going to look at violent crimes under the microscope of political correctness. And this is basically where Michael Brown has gotten us out of Ferguson. You know, it was okay that he was roughing up clerks, because according to Al Sharpton, he was a gentle giant who grew up in a disadvantaged situation. So strong-arming the clerk and walking out of the store with, a box of cigars or whatever it felt like stealing, it was okay. The law shouldn't really apply to him. You have to factor in the white privilege that others have before you can begin to charge and convict. I mean, this is where this is going. It was very nicely worded from the city of Charlotte, and if you were just to glance over it, you'd say to yourself, we're gonna do certain things to de-escalate crime. But what they're talking about here is looking at it through the lens of political correctness, looking at it through the lens of white privilege. And this is how a lot of people are approaching what we're seeing going on all across the nation right now with violence. And quite frankly, it's interesting that Joe Biden right now is coming after Donald Trump, saying he's not doing enough to de-escalate the situation, to calm the situation. What Eric Holder did and what Barack Obama did with the Michael Brown Ferguson situation, it did more to cause what we're going through right now, I think, than anything else that we've had happen in the last 10 years. Oh, absolutely. I think this must fall under that new liberal term I keep hearing of reimagining public safety, reimagining policing. It's just kind of weird. One night, every Democrat was singing off the same sheet of music, and the pundits that they had on all the shows are saying, it's time to reimagine public safety, and it was like over and over and over again. So that it's obviously it's the script to reimagine policing. And I guess it was California district attorney that said to prosecute, they would look and see from a looting standpoint the need. Yeah, is there a need? Yeah. That's ridiculous. And if there's a need, then we're going to shrug our shoulders and look the other way. You either have the rule of law or you do not. That's plain and if you don't, you don't have law. Right. You have anarchy. And you don't have civilization. No. It goes back, and it's the same philosophy that we don't need a wall. We don't need a border down at the southern border. Just let people come in and do whatever they want. It's amazing the common sense things that you have to fight for. Well, it's election time. Everything goes back to the election. But, Victor David Hanson with the Hoover Institute, I thought he put it clearly. That guy's a genius, by the way. This election, you were voting for if you want civilization, plain and simple. And I don't think it's that simple. I think it's that simple. Yeah. A new national poll shows Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden retaining a single-digit lead over President Trump, but the public opinion survey also indicates that slightly more voters think Trump will be the president in the next election. So what does that mean? So in other words, this is a Monmouth University survey. And according to the poll, which was conducted September 3rd through the 8th, so a very recent poll, the former vice president tops Trump 51% to 44% amongst likely voters. It's a little wider amongst a wide pool of registered voters, but likely voters is really who you want to look at, 51 to 44%. But in that same poll, 48% versus 43% say Trump will win. So what does that tell you? I mean, I think among other things, it says people don't, it would really be interesting to have them also ask the question, do you trust public polling for the upcoming presidential election? And I think the majority of the people would say, no, I don't. So why is it that people, the polling comes back with Trump losing slightly, but when asked, but who do you think will win, Trump wins? And I think it's twofold. I think people don't trust the polling, but I also think that there are a lot of people, and there's other stories out there that have been circulating for the last few weeks, that there is the quote, the silent majority, that Jerry Falwell came up with that term years ago, but that silent majority is remaining silent when it comes to polling. They're not showing their hand. It's also interesting. You don't see a lot of. You don't see any. Have you seen any Trump bumper stickers? I have. I cannot remember seeing any Trump bumpers, and I think it's because people don't want to have the car keyed. I mean, it's that simple. People don't want to end up having to spend $1,000 to get their. Yeah, I had who was it? I think when Pat McCrory was running years ago. It was an old car, so I really didn't care that much. But I had a Pat McCrory, and sure enough, I got keyed. Is that, or nobody wants to put up with even putting a sign in the yard anymore. But I don't think that's a reflection of who they're going to vote for at the end of the day, though.
Well, as much as the press like to not be honest about this, you don't see any instance of Trump supporters attacking Biden supporters. It doesn't happen. If it did, you'd see it on television all the time.
Absolutely.
But it's pretty common that open Trump supporters are being attacked.
Remember, was it before the last election? But there was a rally down, it probably was, there was a rally in Fayetteville. And there was a anti-Trump protester there that in the middle of the rally got up and started screaming. And some old guy got up and cold-cocked this guy. I mean, it was a guy that was probably close to 70 years old. He just had enough of it. He stood up and just cold-cocked the guy and knocked him down. And it was a young man that he knocked down. But as you said, that made national news. It was in national news for days.
Yeah, I don't know what led up to it, but I guess that guy probably was feeling like Robin Ventura when he charged him out against Nolan Ryan. Thought the old man couldn't handle it anymore, and I think he regretted that move.
Joe Biden was at a AFL-CIO event on Labor Day. And, everybody's asking, how's Joe Biden going to do in the debates, and will we have the debates? We still are rather skeptical that we'll even have them. But at one point during this event, they had pre-recorded questions from people that were involved in the union or thought about getting involved in the union. And Joe was supposed to be giving these impromptu questions. Of course, it was virtual because Joe, can't be in front of anybody, and plus nobody wants to see the fact that he's reading off the prompter. So at one point, a participant asked Joe if he would help more people join labor unions if he was elected president. The camera cuts to Joe Biden, who is looking to the side, and told his staff, "Move it on up," telling them to adjust the teleprompter so he could read his answer.
As a black woman in America who's worked with union jobs and non-union jobs, I know that there's 60 million Americans saying that they would vote for a union today. And I would like to know, what will your administration do to help them give them that chance? Thank you.
Let's move it up here. There used to be a basic bargain in this country. Workers shared in the wealth their work helped create.
Yeah. That's called a paycheck, Joe, and they still give those out.
Sad. It really is.
It is sad, and he sounds so out of steam. I'm surprised he just didn't fall over. But so he's sitting there and he's saying, "Move it on up," because if you're familiar with teleprompters, it's like a scroll. It moves on up, and you read right off of it. And you could hear in his answer that he was reading the answer, just the way he was responding. But can you imagine the media, the mainstream media, what they would do if this was a conservative Republican running for the presidency and that they had lost it as much as Joe has lost it? They would have to resign from even running for the daily barrage of insults and demands that would be coming from the mainstream media. We got to take a time out, but we're going to play political trivia. Got a prize package of over $200. 561-8255 is the number to call. 38th President of the United States is the category. I test drove the question. I think it's going to go quick. So be one of the first callers. 561-8255, political trivia when we get back.
GoEco is the office equipment company that people all over eastern North Carolina are turning to for their office copier and equipment needs. GoEco sells and services Canon copiers and office products. They have a great service team that's quick to respond when you need them. We here at Interbanks Media just made the switch to GoEco, and they're saving us money in printing cost. Other businesses in and around Greenville are making the switch too. Dirk's Chiropractic switched over a year ago and saved money. GoEco bought out their existing lease, and Dirk's Chiropractic received better products fitting their needs. In fact, GoEco has saved local clients who have switched over $178,000. Oh, and some businesses might qualify for no payments until 2021. Call Area Sales Director Tom Watkins at GoEco for a free consultation today. 252-227-0581 or email info@goeconc.com. Save money by switching to GoEco.
Powered by Clean Surface Technology, PPG introduces their newest innovation called Ultralast. It's an interior paint plus primer engineered for unmatched washability. Ultralast brings research and technology from PPG Automotive and Industrial Coatings divisions to create a super premium interior paint that's now available to you. Just visit your local PPG paint store in Greenville, Goldsboro, Wilmington, or Newbern. To help make your color choice easier, PPG Paints has a virtual room painter online where you can use pictures of your house or sample rooms provided. Just visit ppgpaints.com and launch the visualizer. Whether your job involves interior, exterior, or protecting an uncommon surface, find out what professional painters and contractors already know. Your local PPG store is hands down the right place for paints, stains, and coatings. Plus, the friendly professionals at PPG are knowledgeable and willing to help. PPG Paint Stores, Greenville, Goldsboro, Wilmington, and Newbern.
Fabric and Home Furnishings in Arlington Village is Greenville's complete home design center. They have an amazing design team and offer so much more than just fabric. At Fabric and Home Furnishings, they have the area's largest selection of Krypton fabric in stock. You can spill red wine on a white sofa with Krypton fabric and watch it roll right off. The Fabric and Home Furnishings design team will design a sofa for you, help you reupholster your existing sofa, or come to your home and help you with your entire project. Lisa and Dale Pendry at Fabric and Home Furnishings work hard to keep their inventory made in America. They support local craftsmen, employ ECU design students, and they can help turn your Eastern North Carolina home into a showplace. Find them on Facebook at Fabric and Home Furnishings and go see them at the store in Arlington Village. It's time to make your home a masterpiece with the help of Fabric and Home Furnishings. So much more than just a fabric store.
All right, welcome back in. It is political trivia time. 561-8255. Your category, 38th President of the United States. Your prize package includes a free oil change for your car or pickup at Dave Davis's East Carolina Chrysler Dodge Jeep or at Washington Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. A gift certificate from Fit for Life 24, including 2 free training sessions with a fitness coach, a $20 gift card to the Pirates Cove Car Wash, a $60 diagnostic card from University PC Care, a gift card for a free round of golf with Cart at Ironwood, a $20 gift card to Mucho Bueno for lunch or dinner. Mucho Bueno, real Mexican street food located in front of the Westbrook Shopping Center, US 70 West in Havelock, and a $20 gift card to Gwendy's Goodies Bakery in Aden. Delicious, baked fresh, made from scratch goodies. Remember, if you or anyone in your immediate family have won recently, let 60 days pass before you play again. First up, from Jacksonville, we have Patsy on the line. Hey, Patsy.
Hi.
You ready to play?
Ready to play if I...
All right. Good luck. Here we go. Here's your question. It's the 38th president of the United States, who was Gerald Ford. When Gerald Ford became vice president on December 6, 1973, what bold promise did he make that he ended up not fulfilling?
Oh, he promised some things that he would do when he was re-elected. He wasn't elected the first time, but he didn't win elected when he was really elected.
That is not it, but I would say you're sort of on the right track, but that's not exactly what it was, Patsy. Thanks for calling.
Okay, thank you.
561-8255. Let's go to Brooke in Tarboro. Hey, Brooke.
Hey, guys.
Did you hear the question?
If you could repeat that.
I'd be happy to. When Gerald Ford became vice president on December 6, 1973, what bold promise did he make that he ended up not fulfilling?
Something along the lines of he was promising to kind of settle the issues, going out and settle the conflicts between the nation.
There were a lot of conflicts, but that was not it. But good guess. Thanks, Brooke. 561-8255. Let's go to Greenville. Thomas is on the line. Hey, Thomas.
Hello.
What do you think? When Gerald Ford became VP on December 6, 1973, what bold promise did he make that he ended up not fulfilling?
Not to send any Americans into battle.
Another good guess. That's
Good
not
guess.
it, though. Yeah. Thanks, Thomas. 561-8255. Let's go over to Wilson. We have Cam on the line. Hey, Cam.
Hello.
Okay. All right, Cam dropped. So we have another caller. Who's this?
This is Kai.
Kai?
Guy, G-U-Y.
Oh, Guy. Hey, Guy. What do you think? When Gerald Ford became vice president on December 6, 1973, what bold promise did he make that he ended up not fulfilling?
That he would not raise taxes.
He would not raise taxes. Of course, that was George Herbert Walker Bush. That he ended up regretting.
Read my lips.
Yeah, read my lips. But that was not Gerald Ford. But good guess, Guy. Thanks.
Thank you.
561-8255. Let's go to Betty. Hi, Betty.
Hi.
So what do you think? What did Gerald Ford promise that he did not fulfill?
That initially he was going to raise taxes.
That is not it. That is not it. Thanks for playing. 561-8255. I thought this was going to go quick. I test drove this, and the first person I asked got it right away. Okay, who do we have next? Who is this?
This is Mike from New Bern.
Hey, Mike from New Bern. Good to hear from you. What do you think?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. What did Gerald Ford promise that he did not fulfill?
That he would never serve as president.
Fine-tune that just a little bit. That he wouldn't, I got to give it to you, but fine-tune your answer.
That he would never run for
That's it!
president.
There you go.
Congratulations, Mike. Gerald Ford promised that he would never run for the presidency. Of course, he was vice president for just, 6-8 months, and then Nixon resigned. And come 1976, he decided to run again. So congratulations, Mike.
Well, thank you, sir.
Got a great prize package for you. Hang on the line. Thanks to everybody who played. And Clark's going to get your information, so don't hang up.
I miss Sadie.
You miss Sadie. Well, so do I. But you're making Benny feel bad.
I know.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
No one needs long car rides when they're feeling sick. So it's good to know Vidant offers quality care close to home. For help with colds and flu, see doctors online at vidantnow.com or visit our immediate care clinics for sprains and pains. And when it's more serious or life-threatening, go to the closest ER at your local Vidant hospital. With this many choices so near, you're always close to feeling better. Learn more at vidanthealth.com/carelocal.
Hey there, if you're hearing this ad right now, we want to talk to you. Hi, I'm Rachel Tyre, owner of Tyre Realty Group, and as you've probably heard by now, the real estate market is booming, and we need your help. We are currently in search of 3 to 4 driven salespeople to join our real estate team and assist us with the high demand. Whether you're licensed or not, we need to talk. So what are you waiting for? Visit our website at trgcareer.com or give us a call today, 252-758-HOME. That's 252-758-4663.
And here's the snap. Crack open a Hampton Farms in-shell peanut, and the game's in your hand. The only peanuts with flavor roasted inside the shell, Hampton Farms are healthy, high protein, and fun to crack open and crunch. In your backyard or on your flat screen, bust open classic game day in-shells with Pirate football at home. Find us in the produce section of your local grocery store. With Hampton Farms, every day is opening day. Go Pirates!
For locally grown produce, fresh cuts of meat, and poultry that are perfect for the backyard barbecue, local honey, salsas, baked goods, local artisans, and more, visit the Leroy James Farmers Market in Greenville. Located at 4560 County Home Road, the Leroy James Farmers Market is open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday from 8 until 1. The Leroy James Farmers Market truly has something for everyone. We now accept SNAP EBT benefits. We would like to express our gratitude to this wonderful community for all of your support.
During these unprecedented times, we know you're all worried about your family's health, your job, and paying your bills. Stop the endless debt cycle, especially now. Be proactive and take advantage of unique programs in place to help you get free of your debt. Don't wait for the bills to pile up and the banks to breathe down your neck. The program at Total Financial Freedom can help you get free of credit card debt, internet and signature loans, and even timeshares. You pay only a fraction of what you owe, and they even offer a guarantee. Call now at 800-533-6605 to see if you can qualify and receive a free book written by our CEO, the Debt Dietitian. A+ rated. Total Financial Freedom has helped thousands get debt relief without considering bankruptcy. During these stressful times, debt doesn't need to add to it. Call now, 800-533-6605, and get your free copy of the book to help you at 800-533-6605. That's 800-533-6605.
Public speaking is no easy task.
We choose truth over facts.
Really an ominous.
But there are mistakes. And then there are the gaffes.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
Then there's gaffes so grand, they're comical.
We cannot win this re-election. Excuse me, we can only re-elect Donald Trump.
Get your wits about you going into November. And keep it here with news and views on Talk 96.3 and 103.7.
He's got a bad year. So does Joe Biden. Congratulations, Mike McMahon of New Bern. Got our political trivia question correct. Gerald Ford promised he would never run for the presidency when he was appointed as the vice president on December 6th. That just a few years later, he ran.
I was thinking it might be something dealing with his golf game. Wasn't he a big golfer or something, I think?
Well, he was, but he was also known in some of these pro-ams for hitting spectators with his shot. I remember he was in a Bob Hope Classic or the Pro-Am or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And he took out a few people. Nancy Pelosi is looking at, it's just a PR piece, but it's not going to do her any good. There's a petition out demanding that the San Francisco police chief, William Scott, arrest and prosecute Nancy Pelosi. There's an online petition. They're looking for 25,000 signatures. It's already up to more than 17,000. It was this morning. It might be higher than that now. But the petition says that, you know what, laws are not just for the little people. They need to apply to everyone, including Nancy Pelosi. She violated her own rules and regs and those of San Francisco when she went to the salon, when she didn't wear the mask. And,
I just had my hair washed.
Yeah, we know, Nancy, but sorry. So, and she also not only just got her hair washed, but she said the only thing she's guilty of is that she trusted these folks and they set her up. And they need to apologize to her. What arrogance. Just sheer arrogance.
Hey, she may be our president if we if we go past the election night, and what is it? Sometime in January, if we don't have a president, it goes to Speaker of the House.
Wow, that's scary.
It is.
You know what's really scary though is how can anybody look at Joe Biden and Nancy Pelosi and actually be excited about it? Even if you hate Donald Trump, we were talking about this during the break. Even if you think Donald Trump is caustic and too over the top for you, how can you vote for someone that is pretty obvious isn't playing with a full deck? And I don't mean that in an ugly fashion. And if it was just somebody walking on the streets, I wouldn't even say that about the poor soul. But you're talking about the person that could potentially be the president of the United States.
Yeah, and he's lost as a baseball on high weeds. I hate to say it. And that might not be the kindest thing to say, but he's just really lost.
I'd rather be looking for the baseball. New York Post is reporting that PC and liberalism is now turning on itself and eating itself. If you haven't heard already, the Oscars now, I guess it doesn't start for another couple of years, but you're now going to have a certain PC requirement in order to qualify to win an Academy Award. This is unbelievable. But, you got to have a certain number of minorities or a certain number of disabled people or a certain leading woman. If you don't have these certain quotas, you're not even going to be nominated for an Oscar. And, again, it's like sports. We talked about the NBA the other week. But entertainment stars over the past 50 years have been based on your talent and not a quota. The irony is minorities have done better in Hollywood and in the sports field than anywhere else, and yet they want a quota. Unbelievable. We got to run. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.
East Carolina Lincoln is all about world-class luxury and 5-star service. And